Richmond, I am an alcoholic. My sobriety date is December 12th of 2012. And there's a lot of you here. Good God. Wallace said, there's 72 chairs. Is that going to be enough? And I said, how many chairs did you say? And we had to bring in more. So I'm not even going to think about how many of y'all are out there. But anyway, I guess I should say us because I'm one of you. So anyway. I'll start off with some housekeeping. I am a member of the Primary Purpose Group of Wilson. We meet every Monday and Thursday night in Wilson, North Carolina. If you're over there, please come by and see us. We meet from 7 to 8, just like you guys. Monday night is a big book study. On Monday, the first and third Monday, the second Monday is a topic meeting. The fourth Monday is a tradition meeting, and the fifth Monday, if we have one, we have a history meeting. And then every Thursday night is an open speaker meeting. So if you're in Wilson, come see us. I don't know why you would have a reason to be there, but anyway. Okay. I am a sponsor. I have a sponsor. And so, service work and sponsorship is very big in my group, very big with my sponsor. So please tell her I said so. I'm sorry, I'm fidgety, and in a minute, God is going to jump in here, and everything's going to be copacetic. And Wallace also told me that I'm being recorded, so that's not helping me at all. Thank you, Wallace. Anyway, I'm supposed to tell you in a general way what I was like, what happened to me, and what I'm like today. And so I guess I will start at the beginning. I was born in Pennsylvania. I'm not a native North Carolinian. I moved down here halfway through my junior year in high school and was not happy about it at all. You don't move a child halfway through their junior year in high school and expect them to be happy about it. It doesn't happen. So I moved down here in 1987. I graduated from high school in 89. So now you can do the math. I'm 46. Let's see. My first intentional drink, I was 8 years old. That's how old I was when I realized that alcohol was doing for others what it could do for me. I saw a lot of happy drunks, a lot of not happy drunks in my childhood. And so that was just completely normal for me. That was how I grew up. My first intentional drunk was at 10. Intentionally getting drunk to pass out, not to socially drink or anything. I was never a social drinker. I never wanted to, hang out and have fun. My purpose was to get drunk and to pass out, to numb everything. I was drinking daily by the time I was 14 years old. There are other substances in my story. However, out of respect for Alcoholics Anonymous, I won't go into those. If you want to talk after the meeting, we can talk. I would take it to school with me in a cup or mix it with them, which back then, teachers weren't all in your business, the principal wasn't all up in your face, and it was a lot different back then. I had the same feeling I'm sure 99.9% of us in this room had, that empty hole that I was using something to fill, something had to fill me up. Something was wrong with me. I didn't know what that something was, but it had to be fixed. And the only thing that I knew that would fix that at the time was alcohol. It helped me feel not so lonely and abused and unwanted. I was angry and resentful and just shut down from everything and everybody. I didn't want anything to do with anybody. I didn't want you to bother me. I didn't want you talking to me. I just wanted you to leave me alone and let me drink, and I would be happy in my own world. It wasn't a matter of, drinking to be popular or drinking to hang out with the folks. It was a matter of, I'm drinking to numb you out, to get you away from me. That was my goal. I was not a bar fly. I didn't hang out in the bars. I hung out at home. Or growing up in Pennsylvania, we lived in the woods. So I'd go hang out in the woods and drink. So, there wasn't a whole lot else to do. So I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania in the mountains, and it snowed a lot, and it was cold, and in the summertime we hung out in the woods, so that's what we did. I moved down here and graduated from high school and got a job and started to kind of feel like I kind of belonged here. And then I started hanging out with the people that I hung out with in Pennsylvania. Started gravitating towards people like me, people that drank like me, people that didn't care if I got blackout drunk and passed out. They thought it was funny. So I would hang out with a small group of people, and that was just what I did. I didn't want to be around a whole bunch of people, but I would be around a few. So I had a few select friends that I thought were friends, that as soon as something went wrong, they bailed on me. So they weren't really anyone that would hang out with me for long. And once I started stealing their boyfriends, they just really didn't want to hang out with me then. So, that didn't last long. Again, I was a stuffer. I didn't want to talk to anybody about anything. I didn't want anything to do with, getting into deep conversations with people. I just wanted you to let me drink the way I wanted to and just leave me alone. You could come so far, but you all know how we build those walls up. We put those walls up to keep other people out because they might get too close and they might figure out what's really going on with us, and that was not something that I wanted anybody to know. I was damaged. I was damaged material, and nobody else needed to know that but me. It wasn't something that I wanted to make public. It wasn't something that I needed anyone else to know. I knew it, and that was enough. Drinking helped me cope with that. Alcohol saved my life for many, many years. And I say that to say this. It kept me from killing myself. Even though it was killing me, it kept me from killing myself by my own hand, because there were so many nights that I went to bed hoping I wouldn't wake up the next morning. But because I had passed out, I would. Anyway, I met my husband when I was 24. And he and I got married, and I had two older stepdaughters who were 9 and 12 at the time. And they were a lot of fun. They were, I don't know how many of us can remember being 12, 13, but that age is really catastrophic. It's really bad. And so my oldest one it was horrible, and we went through a lot with her, and it was bad. And, I used drinking to deal with that, to cope with that. It was the only coping mechanism I knew of. And my husband, bless his heart, did not know what he was getting himself into. Which, when he and I met, I was not drinking as bad as I had been, but I wasn't drinking as bad as I would be. So he would say something occasionally about, don't you think you need to slow down a little bit? And I'd be like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got it. That was my favorite saying, and he hates to hear me say that today too. I got this. I got this. So anyway, he and I got married in 1996, and we had the two older girls, and through their adolescence, my drinking became more and more escalated, and by the time they were both out of the house and out of school, I was out of control. I could control it to a point, but once I got home in the evenings, I was drinking a gallon of wine, and there was no telling what kind of mood I would be in by the time he got home. I was a raging drunk. I wasn't a happy drunk. So I would take out every negative feeling that I had on him when he came home. And when he walked in the door, he could take one look at me and just be like, oh, crap. I was not a happy person. And bless his heart, as much as he tried to make me happy, it just wasn't working, because this hole that was there just wasn't being filled up. And as hard as he tried, as many things as he tried, as many things as I tried, nothing was working. The alcohol worked for me, but it didn't work for him. So, fast forward a little while, and my oldest stepdaughter became pregnant and decided she didn't want to be a mom. So now I have this 2-month-old baby that I'm taking care of. And I was unable to have children, so, here I am with this 2-month-old baby trying to figure out, now what? Now what do I do? Because I'm mom to this baby, and I did not want her to grow up the way I did. So I kind of slacked off on my drinking and increased other stuff, and, kind of hit a happy medium for a very short period of time. And when she was 3 years old, my husband had done really well keeping her away from me when I was drinking too much or anything else. And so when she was about 3 years old, I guess he had finally had enough, and he allowed her to walk in the bathroom on me. And I'm laying, I had tile floor, and we all know how good tile floor feels when you're laying in the bathroom. Come on, everybody's been there, it's nice and cool. Yeah, it was great. So I'm laying on the floor, and I'm sick, and I'm miserable, and I'm drunk, and she walks in and looks at me and starts crying and says, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And I flashed back to me when I was her age and walking in the bathroom on my mom and saying, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And that terrified me. And I felt like I had disappointed God. I had disappointed my family, myself. Here I am, I can't have kids. He puts this 2-month-old baby in my care, and I spit in his face. Pretty much. That's the feeling I had. And so this hole inside me is getting bigger, and I'm feeling more guilty, and I'm feeling worse about myself. And so the drinking wasn't helping that. And my husband had been saying, "Don't you think you need some help? Don't you think we need to go to rehab? You need treatment, something?" And I kept saying, "No, I have this baby to take care of, and I'm not leaving her." And I did that for, 6 months before she finally walked in the bathroom that night. And when she walked in the bathroom and I looked up and saw her face, it was a spiritual awakening for me. And so I pulled myself up off the bathroom floor, and I walked into my living room and looked at my husband, who was very unhappy. And I said, "I'm ready." And he knew exactly what I meant. And he got on the phone, and we started making phone calls. That was August 18th of 2004. That is not, unfortunately, my sobriety date today. That is my first sobriety date. I wish I could stand here and tell you that I got it the first time and everything was great, and it was for about 8 years. And 4 years into that 8 years, I lost my daddy. And I caught the resentment against my AA group because they did not show up for me. And so instead of finding another group, which there are many, I completely unplugged and walked away from Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, I found all kinds of excuses for that. It wasn't, "I'm mad at Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm going to walk away now." It was, I have to work because I was working 12 and 14-hour days. It was, I'm okay, I don't need them necessarily, I'll be fine. I know what to do. I have this, and I know what to do. My problem was, I not only unplugged from Alcoholics Anonymous, I unplugged from God. And my thing is, when I unplug from God, I turn away, and I kind of put him back here. And I said, "Now don't you look at me. I'm up here, you're back there, don't look at me, because I'm going to do what I want to now." And when I do that, he kind of says, "Oh, okay, I'm done." Because what else can he do? So that's what I did. I left AA with a resentment and anger and sadness, and that hole was opening up. And I didn't know that at the time. And so I did, what I did. I didn't go to meetings, and I didn't pray, and I didn't have conscious contact with anything or anybody. And I wasn't accountable to anybody. I didn't have a sponsor anymore. I didn't have a home group anymore. And I didn't have anything to do with the God of my understanding, because he could see what I was doing. I wasn't drinking yet, but I wasn't doing any of the other things I was supposed to be doing. So for 4 years. And then 4 years after that, I was just a dry drunk. I was miserable. I was miserable to be around. That hole just kept getting bigger and bigger. And in 2012, I went to a investments conference in Vegas. Now, I'm sure y'all have all heard somebody say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It does not. I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof, it does not stay in Vegas, it comes home with you. It does. Because I'm in Vegas and I have no intentions of drinking whatsoever, and my husband went to Arizona to see some friends of ours, and I'm in Vegas by myself. And I'm sitting, for some reason, at a craps table. I don't know how to play craps. And the waitress walks by and says, can I get you something to drink? And I said, yes, shot of tequila, natural light. Without even thinking. It wasn't even, it just, bam, there it was. And that started it. And I had 2 drinks that night, and I went to bed. And I talked to my husband on the phone, and he didn't know. Nobody knew. And it was okay. And I was like, cool, I might have this thing. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe after 8 years it just goes away and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'm good to go now. I can have a couple drinks. So I come home from Vegas and I start with the little airplane bottles. Just a couple. I can do a couple because I did a couple in Vegas and it was fun. So I did a couple. And a couple turned into a pint. And a pint turned into a 5th of vodka every day at work. And by the time I got home in the evenings, I was right back where I started from. From going to Vegas in June of 2012 until October, I went from 2 drinks in Vegas to a 5th of vodka a day at work. I stole from my employer, something I would never do. Stole from my employer, was falling asleep at my desk. I'm in financial investments, and the Bernie Mac thing is going crazy. And I'm just like, I got this, it's good. I got this. I know what I'm doing. And so the client that I stole from came in and told my boss, hey, we have a problem. Of course, I did the whole, I'm sorry, please don't fire me. And he said, I'm in financial investments. I can't not fire you. And so I lost my job. It's the only job I was ever fired from. I was always 2 steps ahead of them before. I'm going to get fired. I'm out of here. That's the only job I was ever fired from. And it broke my heart. And it broke my husband's heart even more because I had been hiding it so well from him. He had been working a lot of nights, and so he wasn't around. And so here I come one day with my box full of stuff, and I'm crying, and I'm all to pieces, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've already drank the whole 5th of vodka. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I lost my job, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And the look on his face when I said, I've been drinking since Vegas. Oh my God, y'all. It was bad. It was really bad. The disappointment that I saw there just broke my heart. And it was December, and it was right before Christmas, and I was trying to get everything together for Christmas, and here I am having to go to rehab again. My daughter is 12, 13 years old. She's only known sober mom. Now mom is drunk mom. Again, I had prided myself on the fact that she was only 3 the first time. She wouldn't remember me drunk. And now here I am, a blubbering idiot, trying to tell my family why I no longer have a job and why I need to go back to rehab. So I spent rehab that year and spent Christmas that year in rehab, spent New Year's in rehab. Devastated my child. She was really, really upset with me. I know she was angry. She wouldn't show me she was angry, but I knew she had to be. Had to be. And hurt, and just her trust in me was destroyed. And just knowing those things just almost killed me. It was almost to the point that I would rather die than see the look on their faces like that again. When you come to that point that you would rather die than disappoint some other person, you got to do something. You got to do something. So here I go off to rehab again. We're going to do this. I got this. And came home, and I had walked into the primary purpose group in October. And Pam, my sponsor, and some of you know Pam. It's hard not to know Pam if you've been at AA for any amount of time. My sponsor and a couple other people that had been in Alcoholics Anonymous the first time I was in there were standing in that room. And that just proved to me that it could be done. And so I asked Pam to be my sponsor, and she said yes. That was in October, and I went to her house to do Big Book study, drunk, and passed out at her kitchen table. But I was just so tired. I was tired. I couldn't, can we just put this off? And she was like, yeah, we'll just wait till next week. She knew. Everybody knew. From October, November, they knew. Because, I've been trying to get AA on the down low and not let the husband know, and, drinking in between, that's great. That lying and trying to keep up that game was exhausting. It was just exhausting, and today I don't have to do that, thank God. So I got into AA when I came out of treatment this last time, and I went into it full force. And the first time when I came out, I was all about AA, and I was on fire for AA, and I had like the Bill experience, the burning bush. It was AA, it's great. I'm gonna get all into it. It's gonna be awesome, and I did until I caught that resentment. And then this time has been so it's been a struggle. This time has been a struggle. And we were talking before the meeting, and my biggest problem is surrender. I have the hardest time surrendering because I am such a control freak. And I think I got this. I can do this. I don't need you. I don't need meetings. I don't need a God of my understanding. I am in charge. I know what I'm doing. Not. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I've not known what I was doing since I was old enough to do it. Why would I even think that? There is no, I just don't know. I don't know. I need somebody to teach me, and that's where my sponsor came in. She taught me how to come into these rooms and how to be a part of, and how to work the steps. And she sat at her kitchen table, even with me passing out, and read the book to me. And when I came out of rehab, we read the book again. We just kept reading the book until I finally got it. She was really patient with me. My group was really patient with me because they knew what I was going through. We tend to gravitate towards people we know and people who will understand us. Drinking or not drinking, we tend to do that. People who will understand our kind of drinking and our kind of sobriety. The people that understand where we're coming from and where we've been. And it's hard to find those people out there because a lot of times they don't understand and they can't fathom, why can't you just quit drinking? Why can't you just stop? And my husband was the same way. You make a choice to drink. Well, yeah, I do sometimes. But when I'm in active, full-blown alcoholism, it isn't a choice. I gotta have it. When I get to the point that I have to drink every single day to function, to get out of bed, that's a problem. But that's how I coped. Alcohol saved my life for years as my coping mechanism. Now, I come out of rehab the second time, I need something besides alcohol to help me cope because I have no skills. I am skillless when it comes to coping with life on life's terms, life in my face, stuff going on that I don't know how to deal with. I drink over that. I drink to make it go away. So now I need something different to help me to not drink, but also be able to deal with life on life's terms and life as it shows up, as it comes. What am I going to do with that? Because I'm not good at that. That's where the steps come in. You know, we start working the steps. First 3 steps, pretty easy. Ruined my drinking. You people ruined my drinking. You really did. Because I knew when I started drinking again that it was wrong, that it was going to get bad. I knew that, but I did it anyway. Why do we do that? Because alcoholism is insanity. It is crazy. It's got that little, it's like this little thing in the back of your head that just sits there constantly going, you know you wanna, you know you wanna, you know you wanna drink. It's not gonna be that bad this time. You know, it's not gonna be that bad. You can stop it. No, I can't stop it. It's gonna do what it wants to do, and I will drink until it kills me. Because that's what I do. I know this to be true. I know this because I've lived it. I know this because that's what this book tells me. That's what you guys tell me. It'll kill me. For me today to drink is just not even an option. And it took me so long to get there. It took me so long this time to get to that surrender point, to get to that point where I could say, no, you are not in control. You are not going to run my life. The God of my understanding is going to run my life, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to live. That's the only way I'm going to be able to have any kind of life to start with. You know, because I don't deal well with life. The only way I can deal with it is through the steps, working the steps daily in my life, not just at meetings on Mondays and Thursday nights, not just with my sponsor every, couple times that I call her a week, not just when I'm in a room with guys like you, people like you, not just when I'm active in Alcoholics Anonymous, but when I'm active out there at my job, especially at home. Oh my God, it's so hard at home to work the steps. I mean, it's so hard to live with people in your house 24/7 that want you to do stuff all the time. They want you to do stuff all the time, and they're like, nee, all the time. Mom, honey, what time are you going to be home? Where are you going? Stop it. Just stop it. I don't want to anymore. But just working the steps, the 4th and 5th step, and getting all that out there, and working, getting all that garbage out. You put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. And, I use the analogy of a dumpster, because you can paint a dumpster all pretty colors and put flowers on it and make it all pretty. But if you still got trash in there, it's not going to make any difference. You got to get the trash out of the dumpster first, and then clean it up, and then you might have a chance. That's what the 4th and 5th step do, and clean up that wreckage, clean up that past, and get it out of there, because it weighs you down. It weighs you down bad. 6th and 7th step, doing amends and monetary to the employer. I did that. That was humbling. Very humbling. Cleaning up the wreckage with my husband. Just letting him know that I was going to do the best I could. He heard I'm sorry so many times. I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore. I'll try to stop. I'll try. There is no try. It's do. Action. You have to do the action. I can stand up here and talk for 20 more minutes, I think. But until I put it into action, until I stand up here and actually come to Southern Pines 2 hours away and do the action, it's really pointless. If I'm going to sit in a meeting and be bored silly and not get anything out of it, if I'm going to just show up and take a seat and then leave and continue to do everything I wanted to do and how I want to do it, I'm really taking the seat that someone else could benefit from. You know, I need to come in here and get serious and do the work and get a sponsor and get a home group and take the next right action. I've earned a seat in this room. I'm just going to tell you. I have done the right thing so many times when I didn't want to. Yeah, but my sponsor tells me that's what I have to do. The God of my understanding tells me that's what I have to do. You guys tell me that's what I have to do. I have to show up. I have to be a part of. I have to take my place in Alcoholics Anonymous. I have to make coffee. I have to set up. I have to unlock the door. I have to chair. I have to speak. I have to go to conferences. It's not just about sitting in a meeting for me. You know, I can't just sit in a meeting and get what I need out of Alcoholics Anonymous. Hearing you guys share and hearing you guys speak is great. It's great. But going to a conference, that's awesome. When you sit there, I went to the election conferences, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh my God. You know, it's amazing how many of us show up. Just show up. The Freedom from Bondage conference, oh my God, I had so much fun last year. I'm going again this year. You know, it's amazing. If you have the opportunity, go. If you have an opportunity to have a sponsor who wants you to go, go. You know, I sponsor a girl, you know, I'll call her up, you want to go? No, I have to do so-and-so tonight. Okay. You know, and I hate that. I wish that she would, you know, want to come with me, but I can't make her. I can't make her do it. She's got to want to do it. You got to want to do it. And it's so much fun. And, you know, some people get nervous in big crowds, and I'm one of them, in case you couldn't tell. Get nervous in big crowds and don't want to interact. But if you get in a room full of alcoholics, they will make you interact. They will make you interact. They will hug you and touch you and shake your hand and just wrap you in this code of Alcoholics Anonymous thing that is just unbelievable. You know, and so doing that, you know, 8th and 9th step, conscious contact with God, that's a big deal for me. I have to pray every day. I have to show up in meetings. I have to do what I'm supposed to do in Alcoholics Anonymous, but I also have to do what I'm supposed to do at home and at work. I have to pray. I have to do, you know, and not just pray, not just talk to God, not just because I talk all the time to God. You know, I take him to work with me. I'm like, come on, you're coming with me. You know, let's go to the speaker meeting because I need you. You know, he's all the time with me. But I also have to listen, and that's where meditation comes in. It took me so long to get still, just to be still and be able to hear him. Yeah, and it's not like he's like, Kelly, this is what you need to do today. No, he doesn't do that. I wish he would. It'd be cool. But he speaks to me through you guys. He speaks to me through other people that are in my life, people at work and people at home. I've had a really hard time with my family the last few years. Family, again, is one of the hardest things to deal with when you're trying to stay sober. And they will just drive you absolutely crazy. Just crazy. I have to remember I'm behind the podium. You know, and I held a whole lot of anger toward my mother and my sister for years, long time. And this past year, I started, you know, talking to God about it and talking to my sponsor and trying to get a handle on that, because last Christmas, my Christmases haven't been the same since I lost my daddy in 2008. And my relationship with my mom and my sister also has not been the same since that time. And so Christmases have been really hard. And last Christmas and Thanksgiving, I decided I was not going to spend time with my family. I was going to opt off of that one because I just needed that time to just be away. And hindsight tells me that was not fair to my children or to them. It was what I felt like I needed to do at the time. But this is how God works in my life today. They're coming to my house Christmas Eve. They're all coming to my house Christmas Eve. All of them. There's like 15 people coming to my house Christmas Eve, and I'm okay with that. They were there for Thanksgiving too. Oh my God, it was crazy, but that's how God has worked in my life. You know, He has given me back my family. He has given me back a little bit of self-respect. He's given me all of you. You know, God works, and He does a pretty good job if you let Him. So continuing to take an inventory every day, making sure I'm doing the right thing, just trying to do the right thing every day. You know, and not just Alcoholics Anonymous, but just in general. Try to do the right thing. Try to be a good person to other people. Try to be kind, because I don't know what kind of struggle everybody else is going through. I know what kind of struggles I've had, and there are some days when I look at somebody and they just smile at me and it makes my day better. So sometimes just that little bit of a smile for somebody, or hey, how are you doing, makes a huge difference. You don't think it does, but you know it resonates with people. 11th step, I try to remain teachable. I try not to be a know-it-all today, because I'm good at that. I'm a control freak, and I know what to do. I got this. You can't tell me anything. That was the old attitude that I had. Today, I try to remain teachable. I try to learn something from you guys. I try to learn something from someone else on a daily basis, whether it just be something real simple or something highly complex, and I'm just like, oh, that is cool. I don't understand it, but it's really cool. You know, just remain teachable and open-minded, and don't close down Alcoholics Anonymous just because you've been to 2 or 3 meetings and you're not feeling it. Keep coming, or switch meetings, or switch sponsors. Do whatever you have to do, but don't stop coming. Please don't stop coming. There are so many meetings out there. There are so many different people in Alcoholics Anonymous. You will click with somebody. You will, I promise you. And it will change your life. Helping others. Just continue to help others. It's what the book tells me I have to do. It's what my sponsor tells me I have to do. It's what people in my group tell me has worked for them. And so that's what I do. Like I said, AA has given me my family back, my life back. I have a life today. You know, I actually get up in the morning and I have a purpose. I never had a purpose before. I just kind of wandered around like, oh, what's going to happen today? You know, I don't know. But today I get up and I go to work, and I be a good mom, and I be a good daughter, and I be a good wife, and I be a good worker, and you know, all those things that I'm supposed to be, that we're supposed to be to start with. That now I'm just like, look at me, I'm doing all this stuff, aren't you proud of me? You know, and everybody's like, yeah, it's great. We do it all the time. Yeah, it's awesome. I have awesome friends I can count on today, all you guys. I know that if I called any one of you tonight and said, hey, I need some help, you'd be there. That's amazing. You might say, Kelly who? Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, okay, I'll be right there. You know, that's amazing. That is something that nobody else has. You can go to church, you can have a church family, you can have any kind of other family, but if you call somebody an Alcoholics Anonymous, they'll be there. They will be there. I promise you that. Peace. I have peace. I have a peace like I have never known. I go to bed at night and I can sleep, which is totally unheard of for me. I have insomnia for many, many years, and so once I got into Alcoholics Anonymous and figured out you know, what the problem was and what to do, you know, it has gotten much, much better than it was. So, anyway, I am going to read something. Sorry. That's gonna be really loud on there. I'm gonna read something out of my big book that I read every night, every time I speak, and it speaks to me, and I hope it does you. It's out of the big book, obviously. It's out of the story Because I Am an Alcoholic. In the back of the book, on page 347 of the 4th edition. I think that's what I have tonight. It's the last paragraph, and it says, "That sense of being different, which had long plagued me, disappeared when I saw the threads that run through all of us. Sharing our stories, our feelings, it is the areas where we are the same that impress me. The differences are but delightful flourishes on the surface, like different colored costumes, and I enjoy them. But the basic ways we are human, the basic ways we simply are, stand out to me now. I came to see that we are all really one, and I no longer feel alone." Thank you.